Meet Susan, the database designer and Microsoft SQL Server T-SQL code developer. She's not a production or physical database administrator. She comes to the SQL Server world with a different perspective because of her depth of knowledge about SQL Server database design, operation, and development. Susan is a different type of database administrator, what we call a logical DBA. She knows how to design a database for a specific situation, a custom solution, something that you can't buy off the shelf. She can optimize database structures and T-SQL code for better performance. She's probably taken courses in SQL Server operations and has observed these operations in her test and development environments. She has installed her own development versions of SQL Server, but there's a huge gap between development and production. Susan, as a logical DBA, has never done any production database administration before, and this is the chasm that she needs to cross. She also may be pretty much unacquainted with the operating system, Microsoft Windows, except as a user. She may be a total networking and Windows security neophyte. Susan's goal is survival. Find a good network administrator and a good operating system administrator and a very good security administrator, and partner with them for the outside the SQL Server functions that she will have to integrate with. For folks like Susan, Coach in a Can is a task manager, a list of what needs to get done and when to do it. In a development SQL Server environment, if you get the database backed up once a week, that's good. And as far as performance goes, if it's not acceptance testing, then whatever. The production environment is very different. In a production environment, it's all about good, stable performance and making sure you can restore operations quickly if the SQL Server hiccups. High availability is absolutely necessary. You have to keep things running and running well. Susan is going to use the links and information embedded in Coach in a Can to review and refresh on how to perform tasks that keep the SQL Server operational. Tasks which are unfamiliar to her, such as replication, mirroring, clustering, she can begin to learn about with the embedded information she'll find in Coach in a Can. She'll fill in the blanks on some common tasks that the DBA needs to do with the Windows operating system. This is where she's going to get value from Coach in a Can. She's going to shortcut her training and move along the path to production DBA fast, given her background and the use of Coach in a Can. Susan, being a database designer and Transact SQL developer, will quickly be able to grasp how the database infrastructure, the tables, and other objects within the SQL Server are affecting performance. She will be able to review internal T-SQL code very quickly. So she's a very, very good candidate for production DBA. The DBA's day is often managed by interruption, with people constantly asking, is there something wrong with the database? Under these circumstances, Susan, with her understanding of the internal complexities of the SQL Server, might be able to answer that question. The way the objects, the tables, the triggers, the stored procedures, internal code, even the data types that are used for a specific column in a table, the way those are all used together inside the database can profoundly affect the way the SQL Server performs.